Welcome to the Focus on Why podcast. I'm Amy Rowlinson and I ask my guests one simple question. Why? Focusing on the importance of why, I share with you the relatable, uplifting and inspiring conversations I have with people from all walks of life. This podcast will encourage you to focus on your why to enable and empower you to achieve the success you desire. Have a purpose, have a plan, focus on why. Before we start, I would like to draw your attention to my weekly email newsletter, Friday Focus. Each Friday, I focus on one topic with one action arising. The link to sign up is in the show notes, or head over to amyrowlinson.com and sign up right now. Hello and welcome to episode 370, and this is my 59th solo Reflections with Actions episode. Welcome back if you are a frequent listener, and if you are new to the show, very warm welcome to you. These reflections episodes are different to the other ones because every sixth episode I reflect on the previous 5, which have featured guests sharing their focus on why. As you might have heard, I don't tend to say very much in those episodes as I give the guests a huge amount of space to share their story and answer the few questions that I pose in the moment. Other than the opening question, what are you focusing on at the moment? There are no set questions, so I never know where we will go in the conversations. To be fair, neither do my guests, only that the topic of purpose will come up at some point. So these solo episodes give me the chance to explore the topics in the direction that particularly piqued my interest when listening in to each of those guests speak and share their why. It gives me the opportunity to share my thoughts on what I've learned and then also to share with you what actions I will take as a result. Rainey, 2014, in her study on purpose, found that purpose is temporarily bound to the future and meaning is temporarily bound to the past. What I have found in my work is that meaning is found in reflection and purpose is found in action, but both are experienced in the present moment. Now that's an important finding which I will share with you in my book that I'm currently writing. In fact, this week I submitted the first 15 chapters to my editor. I have to say that was rather a terrifying milestone, not only to meet the deadline we'd set earlier, but also to share the book with someone else. I have had these thoughts whirling around in my head for so long where they were safe and away from everyone else, but now I've shared them with someone else. It feels so vulnerable. However, I have heard some initial feedback and all sounds good so far. She's loving it, so I'm thrilled. But let's return to the topic at hand, reflections with actions, meaning and purpose in the present moment. First, we head to Malta to tune into episode 365, Why We Ask Why, with Thomaz Cauchi. A shout out to my good friend Helen Chorley for the introduction. Thank you, Helen. Thomaz Cauchi, a 40-year-old tattoo artist, specialises in the intricate world of fine line and black and grey tattoos. With a career spanning almost 10 years, he has honed his craft to new heights. His journey into tattoo artistry was a natural progression, having spent the previous 5 years mastering the principles and techniques of pencil art. In addition to his meticulous tattoo art, Thomaz has a deep passion for contemporary art. While his tattooing demands precision and technical expertise, his exploration of contemporary art allows him to experiment freely and embrace the possibility of failure. This dual artistic identity defines him as an artist who thrives on diversity and embraces the full spectrum of creative expression. Beyond his professional pursuits, Thomaz is a naturally curious individual. He approaches life with an insatiable thirst for knowledge, pursuing his interests with fervour and dedication. Some curiosities become lifelong passions, while others are archived or set aside, but each experience contributes to his ongoing evolution as both an artist and as an individual. Following the flow, living authentically and building connections have guided tattooist and contemporary artist Thomaz to much success and joy in life. He is a living embodiment of his encounters and experiences, an ever-evolving work in progress. Uncovering transformational moments and midlife reflections, Thomaz is on a quest to leave a positive impact and legacy. always challenging assumptions, and to fuel his insatiable curiosity of life, he knows the importance of why we ask why. What I want to pick up on is that Thomaz is always challenging assumptions. Do what's right, not what's easy, he said. This is key in crafting your life purpose, to confront the reality of how you are living, to challenge the status quo and to analyse whether your beliefs are really yours, and to understand whether they are serving you and supporting your values. To challenge whether just because that is how things have been done previously, that is how they need to continue being done in the future. To challenge all the bad habits that you continue to practice because it's easier than to work towards changing them. To challenge your priorities across all areas of life. To challenge whether you consider your health to be a priority. To challenge your desires and your aversions. To challenge your motivations and impulses. Are you doing things for the right reasons? To challenge your judgments. Essentially, it's about facing up to reality. Being honest with your reality is a difference between dealing with uncomfortable truths in your daily life or preferring to accommodate comfortable lies. So what is reality? The state of things as they truly exist, independent of your thoughts, perception and beliefs. Reality is focused on objective, factual and unchangeable aspects of the world and your existence. It is what is, whether you believe in it or not. Laws of nature, the physical universe, objective facts in the world around you are all objective truths that exist independently of your perception. Your reality, however, is your own subjective perception and is influenced by your senses, cognitive processes, emotions, memories, beliefs, experiences, perspectives, and social and cultural constructs. This is why people all interpret their reality in so many different ways. What I'm asking you to do is to be honest with your current reality. Are you acknowledging and accepting objective reality even when it may be uncomfortable or challenging to do so? Facing the truth of your circumstances, choices, and the state of the world is essential for you to move forward and to make informed decisions about your life purpose. You need to be honest and question your reality, to question whether you are living your own life or someone else's. It's so easy to be swept along with what is seen as a general consensus without questioning whether you are aligned with the thinking. Questions are essential in life. They are the roots of all your learning, as you can use them to acquire and expand your knowledge, solve problems, gain deeper insights, and eliminate confusion. Powerful questions invite clarity, action, and discovery. Questions lead to answers. However, it's the quality of the answer that you eagerly anticipate, and the quality of the question determines its outcome. There is, therefore, an art to asking good questions. No, scrap that. There is an art to asking great questions. It takes skill and practice. How effective is your questioning? Tennessee Williams said that life is an unanswered question, but let's still believe in the dignity and the importance of the question. Thomaz questions everything. He challenges his beliefs and assumptions. He challenged the direction he was pursuing, and he's altered the course of where he's now heading. Transitioning from tattooing to contemporary art, his canvas has changed. As an artist, he wants to create a lasting legacy that will be more permanent than skin, seeking to create a positive impact on future generations. He spoke about the desire to create something that has a positive ripple effect on future generations and contributes to a better world. Thomaz contemplated the impact he wants to leave behind, not only as an artist, but also as a parent. Parenthood has helped Thomaz with understanding his purpose. He now has a young, yet incredibly wise mentor in his son, who is helping him to challenge assumptions, to find the right balance in the parent-child relationship, to find the right balance in life and work, and to find the right balance in joy and fulfilment. Reflecting on all his past achievements and pursuing professional growth is also a balance he's striking, as well as finding a healthy balance between time spent away from and at home. Thomaz highlighted the significance of managing time for relaxation and work to maintain his overall well-being. So my question to you is, do you challenge assumptions that you make? Do you question the balance you strike? Are you happy, fulfilled, and growing as a result of how you fill your day? I have a question on a post-it note stuck on my desk. It's now very faded, but it serves as a huge reminder for me every day. This is what it says. Before I take any action, ask, will it help me achieve my purpose? It's a powerful reminder and one that helps filter out so many distractions. And boy, do I face shiny distractions all the time. That's an ongoing challenge that I face. And I suspect I'm not alone there, right? So next up is episode 366, Healing with Purpose with Dr. Susanna Petche. Susanna works directly with those dealing with the physical, mental and emotional consequences of trauma, helping them to find a path to healing. She is also an award-winning teacher involved in teaching the next generation of medical and healthcare professionals about the impacts of trauma. In 2022, Susanna founded her business, Trauma Sense, and developed the Trauma Sense program, which she's specifically designed to help coaches, health and wellbeing specialists and organisations to become trauma-informed. Are you trauma-informed? Psychological trauma impacts not only your physical and mental well-being, but also your behaviours and relationships. Susanna is committed to the creation of a trauma-informed world. As a lifestyle and functional medicine GP specialising in psychological trauma, she combines 24 years of clinical practice with personal experience and academic knowledge of trauma to fulfil her purpose. Susanna aims to educate the public and medical professionals about the existence and consequences of psychological trauma. Through her work, Susanna is healing with purpose. She says it's remembering our body's natural state is about healing. Our bodies want to heal. Our bodies have that capacity to heal. It's amazing what our bodies do every single hour of every day. Our bodies know what to do. Your body is an incredible machine. There are likely to be many parts of your body that not only do you not know what they're called, you also don't know what their function is either. That's okay though. They will continue working their magic for you whilst you focus on what's important to you. However, in terms of trauma, you can help your body by releasing it, not only when it happens in the moment by shaking it off, but also by past trauma that you may have still in your body by releasing that too. Having become unwell and struggling with depression, Susanna saw many therapists, and despite her own medical training and knowledge, it took a specialised trauma therapist to recognise that the depression was a misdiagnosis and that instead she had PTSD. Susanna attributes that particular therapist as saving her life as it totally changed her ability to heal. Susanna says that psychological trauma is more common than is perhaps realised. Now, if you didn't listen to the episode and suspect you may be holding on to some trauma in your body or have undiagnosed PTSD or suspect someone you know may have, please do go back and listen to the episode. I'm not the expert, Susanna is. And she has a lot of knowledge around raising awareness and what to do around trauma. And it all starts with believing that person. Now, I almost call this episode Feel to Heal, because Susanna shared that in order to heal, you need to feel. Healing through feeling. This is the awareness that she wants to bring to this area of medical education. The importance of acknowledging and addressing feelings, which has led her on a mission to change the world's understanding of psychological trauma. I didn't realise that by pushing down the feelings of trauma deep down into the body, it sends the body out of balance, and the trauma will then present itself as many different physical manifestations. Susanna describes it as being cut off from the neck down and not being able to feel anything below. Of course, it makes total sense now that she shared that chronic fatigue, chronic pain, skin conditions, autoimmune conditions, irritable bowel syndrome, fibromyalgia, heart attacks, strokes can all be triggered as a result of trauma. What I found shocking is that the reason we don't deal with trauma in today's world is down to the pressure of being socially accepted and not being seen as an outsider. This social stigma prevents us from dealing with trauma in the same way that an animal would do, just by simply shaking it off. Of course, it's not always that simple. But my reflection with action here is that I want to dive into the topic of suffering in connection to purpose. Many guests on Focus on Why have shared the link they have made between discovering their purpose in life and the suffering or trauma they've experienced. Purpose and suffering often go hand in hand. Those who have experienced horrific events can often be more purpose-driven and focused as a result. Susanna is of no exception, and I discussed the power of purpose in the trauma-informed healing work she's focused on. She said that there's a phrase, the wounded healer, that she thinks is very applicable to most people who end up working in the health and well-being sphere. Now, let me make this clear. I do not for one moment consider any suffering that you have experienced as a gift at all. Neither does Susanna. It's often bandied around as being a gift in the personal development space, and it's not. Instead, I see any suffering that you experience as a powerful catalyst from which you can choose to take action and propel yourself forward towards a journey of recovery and healing through your purpose-driven work. Seeing your suffering through a purpose lens as a catalyst for healing provides you with a focus beyond your suffering, enables you to reframe your perspective and recognize that your struggles and trauma do not define you. Purpose serves as a transformative force to help you to channel your energy into something constructive as it infuses you with vitality and joy. Having a purpose nurtures a more positive mindset, and when you engage in activities that align with your purpose, you will trigger the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and endorphins. These are associated with feelings of happiness and well-being and help to aid the healing process. Remember that phrase Susanna said? Feel to heal. When driven by purpose and engaged in fulfilling activities, you may also experience a reduction in stress and anxiety levels as your cortisol is decreased, contributing to a sense of calmness, which also aids emotional healing. Having a clear sense of purpose can also improve your sleep quality, which is vital for the body's healing processes, promoting cell regeneration, repairing tissues, and enhancing physical health. Knowing your purpose will also motivate you to make healthier lifestyle choices, which have a huge impact on your overall health and facilitate natural healing. Purpose, therefore, plays a key role in healing. Healing with purpose. Focus on healing. Next up is episode 367, Social Power of Food with Wafaa Powell. Wafaa was introduced to me by Caroline Kavanagh, so thank you, Caroline. And she was my guest on episode 320 herself, actually, Grow Your Comfort Zone. And I get so many guests making recommendations for other people to come on the show, which is absolutely brilliant. Wafaa was born in Lebanon and lived there till the age of 35. She got a master's in sociology while training as a teacher and taught in primary schools for 14 years. Now Wafaa is living in the UK, married with 2 children. She trained as a counsellor with Relate, and to pay for the course, she started teaching belly dancing, which became a business in its own right. Years later, Wafaa added the Lebanese cuisine and started Dancing Flavours, a business that connects people with the power of food and dance. Nothing brings Wafaa joy like seeing the smiley faces of her customers, who often then become her friends. From ancient healing to modern empowerment, belly dancing is a form of self-expression and confidence. Through the unveiling of the feminine spirit of belly dancing and finding joy through Lebanese food, Wafaa is building strong connections within her community. She challenges the notion of blindly following trends, encourages you to take responsibility for your relationship with food particularly. With a deep passion for cooking, Wafaa loves exploring not just the culinary aspects of food, but also the social power of food. Again, another fan of challenging the status quo, so go Wafaa. In her own way, Wafaa is a healer too, healing humanity through the social power of food and movement, helping people with their body confidence, mental health and happiness. She's built a business doing what she loves, doing what she's good at, doing what the world needs, and doing what she can be paid for. It's Wafaa's way of combining all those elements in the Ikigai way of living a life of purpose. Her love is to serve her community by bringing it closer together. As I said, bringing joy to people through the means of eating healthy, simple food and sharing it with one another. She believes that eating together creates a sense of belonging where everyone feels they're equal. Now, we didn't talk about politics, but Wafaa did say she believed that food was a weapon that we really need to cure humanity, because it is a difficult time for all of humanity right now. She spoke of taking responsibility for food, and it was important to understand the impact of the food that you're eating. And I couldn't agree more. What we put into our body is fuel. How do we expect it to thrive and excel if we fill our body with below par food that won't sustain us? So what Wafaa is doing with her business, Dancing Flavors, is more than entertainment. It's educational. It's helping people to understand what is important. Food and movement are key to your survival. Without either, you'll not thrive or survive. Wafaa's purposeful business is being of great service to the world. When speaking of purpose, I also need to speak of service. Both are intricately intertwined and define the essence of your humanity. When united, they provide you with a heightened experience of living a fulfilling life, just as Wafaa has through the social power of food. Service is the act of selflessly contributing to the well-being of others. At its core, service embodies the very essence of compassion, empathy, and kindness, reaching out and helping others in their moments of need. When you are in service, whether through your voluntary work, community work, social activism, mentoring, acts of kindness, or are simply present for someone, you create powerful connections. Making a positive impact on someone else's life creates immense satisfaction. It is why it is said that there is no such thing as altruism, because all parties will benefit. Service is a universal language that is not limited by boundaries. It transcends race, religion, nationality, and speaks directly to the heart and soul of humanity. Purpose is the reason for your being. It is your guiding light which illuminates the path for your life's journey. It's not a specific goal to be achieved. It is a fundamental understanding of your existence and provides you with direction, infuses meaning into your actions, and fuels your passions. Remember, meaning is found in reflection and purpose is found in action. Putting it simply, purpose is the reason you wake up and jump out of bed with that sense of determination and conviction. When you align your actions with your purpose, you find a sense of fulfilment and contentment that goes beyond material achievements. Purpose ensures that you have the resilience needed to face challenges and the motivation to keep moving forward, especially in the face of adversity. So when you combine service and purpose, this is where the magic happens. In serving others, you fulfill your purpose, and in doing so, you discover more meaningful ways to serve people. Such is a symbiotic relationship that is created where the act of giving and accomplishment of your purpose create a constant cycle of positivity and fulfillment. Service then becomes an expression of your purpose and reinforces your sense of purpose. Not only do you discover the meaning of your existence, but also the true essence of what it means to be human. Reflect on how your acts of service will create a positive impact and make the world a better place for everyone. Next is episode 368, Symphony of Focus with Katrine Horn. Katrine stumbled across my podcast and loved it so she reached out to see if she could be a guest. How could I refuse her beautiful, engaging, natural charm? And if you've listened to the episode, you'll know what I mean. Lifestyle mentor and coach Katrine Horn helps ambitious women close the gap between their real life and their ideal life so that they can confidently enjoy the success they want without the stress. She's committed to showing up at her best, whether she's having tea with a friend or doing a TED Talk. No excuses and no justification necessary. Katrine follows her desires, making sure to live her life on the edge of what is possible. Both Katrine and I are working in very similar ways to ensure that people are living lives of fulfillment. Captivated watching the harp being played in a theatrical production of Swan Lake in Denmark, aged 4, Katrine was determined to make her dream of playing the instrument become a reality. Her dedication and love for the harp led her to make the ambitious decision to attend music college in London. This bold decision subsequently set her on a path of personal and professional growth. Since then, Katrine's journey has been filled with overcoming limitations, taking risks, trusting the universe and breaking boundaries against all odds. She now chooses to live her life of liberation through finding her own version of freedom by facing her fears and creating limitless possibilities. Embracing beauty all around her, her life is a wonderful symphony of focus. And as I'm thinking of what reflections particularly to share for Katrine, my eyes drift to my desk calendar. Every day of the year, I flip the date over and it gives me another different inspirational quote and a gorgeous photo of nature. Today's photo is of a mature tree with its leaves turning yellow, showing its autumnal beauty. This is what the quote said for today. Knowledge was inherent in all things. The world was a library, and its books were the stones, leaves, grass, brooks. We learned to do what only the students of nature ever learn, and that was to feel beauty. Luther Standing Bear, Oglala Sioux Chief, 1868 to 1939. Now, I'm all for coincidences and serendipitous moments, and I really felt that this spoke to me about Katrine, with her values which include freedom and beauty. She shared that her soul was craving beauty, that she had denied it for so long, as she had seen beauty as a luxury. As you may be aware, I'm writing a book on purpose at the moment, and involves a collaboration with my grandfather in an unusual way. Unusual in that he is no longer alive. However, I'm using a journal I found of his, more specifically his prisoner of war commonplace scrapbook that he'd kept for 5 years as a prisoner of war, to help support my Focus on Why framework, a way of life, a way of living with purpose and fulfilment. Unsurprisingly to me, my grandfather speaks of the importance of beauty throughout his writing, referencing Plato, Keats, Cowper, Catherine Mansfield. And as part of my book research, I'm discovering some truly wonderful treasures of this world. A focus on beauty is one such unearthing. In Viktor Frankl's book Will to Meaning, not a man's search for meaning, but will to meaning, he speaks of finding meaning and fulfillment in life from 4 directions. One way is by creating a work or doing a deed by experiencing goodness, truth, and beauty. I'd not really taken a moment to truly appreciate just how impactful and meaningful experiencing beauty in life is, how it touches you on so many levels, and is in effect essential to living a purposeful life. As a society, have we forgotten the magic beauty brings and its purpose? The magic of nature, the beauty of nature. Beauty is not skin deep. It is not frivolous. Instead, it transcends the surface and can be found within your soul, just as Katrine has expressed. Beauty lifts your spirit, stirs your emotions, and conjures up moments to cherish. Found in nature, art, music, and how you live, beauty can help you lead a purposeful life by connecting with your emotions, inspiring creativity, reminding you of the interconnectedness of all things, and helping you to appreciate the present moment. When you align your actions, your choices, your values with your innermost truths, you radiate a genuine beauty that captivates hearts and inspires others. Remember that charm I spoke of? Katrine is that beauty. Living authentically means embracing your quirks, your imperfections, and your unique qualities. It is through authenticity that you unleash the power to live purposefully and experience the profound beauty of being your true self. Beauty thrives in the realm of connection where your life intersects with the lives of others. It is through meaningful relationships, acts of kindness and compassion that you experience the true beauty of human connection. When you uplift and support others, you create a ripple effect that magnifies the beauty within yourself and those around you. Nurturing inner beauty is a pathway to a more meaningful existence. While society often fixates on external appearances, cultivating qualities such as empathy, gratitude, resilience, and self-love allow your inner beauty to radiate outwardly. When you prioritize inner growth and self-care, you embark on a transformative journey that nourishes your soul and enhances your capacity to contribute positively to the world. Life's journey is a tapestry of experiences, both joyous and challenging, that shape your character and deepen your understanding of beauty and purpose. Embrace the ebb and flow of life and find beauty in every moment. This enables you to appreciate the richness of your human existence. It is through embracing life's journey with all of its twists and turns that you uncover the true beauty of resilience, growth, and the unwavering spirit within you. Reflect on all the moments in your everyday life where beauty exists. How do you define beauty? Where and how does beauty feature in your life? Notice where and how it features and see what its impact is. What I love about this show is how I get to speak with incredible purpose-driven people from across the world and take you with me on that journey. We started this episode off with Thomaz Cauchi, who lives in Malta. We then moved around the UK with Dr Susanna Petche and Wafaa Powell, who is originally from Lebanon. Then we headed across over to the south of France, where Danish-born Katrine currently resides in a glorious chateau. So now join me as we finally head across to Costa Rica for my final reflection with action focus today, which is episode 369, Saving Lives Together with Andrew Douglas. Leaving the fire service, selling everything, and moving from the United States to Costa Rica, firefighter, paramedic and union leader Andrew Douglas knows firsthand the challenges and stress that come with serving communities and working under pressure. Navigating his own personal recovery from PTSD, Andrew now has a clear vision for healing others and is addressing the need for accessible mental health support and care. Helping to rebuild lives through trust and belief, breaking down barriers and supporting and uplifting those in need, Andrew's new app is focused on saving lives together. Reflecting on these past 5 episodes today, I made the connection that I should introduce Dr. Susanna Petche to Andrew Douglas, and so I did so. And I wonder now what may come from that introduction. It may not go anywhere, but here are 2 medical professionals, each across one side of the world from one another, who are both helping people deal with PTSD and trauma. With aligned, purpose-driven focus like that, who knows what incredible collaboration could arise from it? A potential global ripple effect, perhaps. Anyway, this is a great example of a reflection with action in motion. Again, Andrew was another listener of the show who reached out to see if he could share his story. Of course he could. What's this platform for if not that? So after we recorded the show, I deliberated on calling it The Power in No, and yet the overarching message came through as a bigger one. It was that of saving lives together. His mission is clear. It's to ensure that no one goes through the trauma and pain that he had, and to transforming mental health care through control, collaboration and care. No small feat at all. It's a huge mission. However, he is aware that he cannot achieve this alone. United for Change, he has reached out for investment to create his app, which is called Siento. This means feel in Spanish. How curious that both Susanna and Andrew spoke of healing through feeling, which is exactly why I connected them to one another. There's definitely a conversation to be had. Andrew's episode is a vulnerable one, as they often are when speaking about purpose, as it's so individual a subject for each of us. Andrew is open about his experiences and he's not afraid to hide them. His vulnerability is important, as not only is he enabling other people to be vulnerable, he's simultaneously stepping into his own power. He was prepared to share his vulnerability in the knowledge that others would benefit from his speaking up and publicly highlighting, confronting and voicing the importance of mental health, particularly for first responders and for those suffering with PTSD, really is important to him. Social media content is saturated with people singing their own praises, sharing celebratory moments. So when you see the real side of people's lives, the behind-the-scenes versions that you don't often see, the raw moments of failure or vulnerability, they really do stand out. By being vulnerable in sharing something personal publicly, you step outside of your comfort zone with a massive display of strength, trust and inspiration. You pave the way for others to be honest also, in not knowing all the answers in life and that life is often full of suffering. Know that when you're vulnerable, you are brave, you're courageous, you're strong. And as Brené Brown says, vulnerability begets vulnerability. Courage is contagious. Share the ups and the downs so that others don't just see the glossy, perfect version of you. Share your vulnerability, as naturally this will lead you to creating real and meaningful connections with others. For Andrew, his vulnerability is helping to save lives. With his openness of his feelings and by sharing his purpose with the help investors, supporters and those who believe in the importance of rebuilding lives through trust and belief, by redefining mental health care, they are all focused on saving lives together. Many of my podcast guests have shared their vulnerable stories and experiences. Being vulnerable demands sensitivity, respect and love. Within your vulnerability lies great power and strength. The power to stand up, to make a stand and to stand out. When you're vulnerable, people don't lose confidence in you. Instead, they respect and support you. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, We are always getting ready to live, but never living. It's okay to share your imperfections. Know and celebrate who you are and the journey you are on. Trust yourself, believe in yourself. Human vulnerability opens you up to connections. It enables others to help when help is needed. Vulnerability encourages growth. With that reflection with action in mind, how would being vulnerable help you to become more empowered and purposeful today? How has this conversation had an impact on you? What value have you received from tuning in? What are your reflections with actions? Please take a moment to leave me an Apple Podcast or Spotify review sharing how Focus on Why has made a difference to you today. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here. To keep it going, simply connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook or Twitter, or join the Focus on Why Facebook group. All the links are in the show notes. Have a purpose, have a plan, focus on why.